Welcome to the YouTube edition of the Frontline Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Jason Cameron, and I'm here with my co-host, Jonathan Hausler.
Hello.
Anyway, go check out his blog. It's on you can find the link to our website on the Twitter account. That's FrontlineFF. So we're going to give you our top 5 starts for each position, and I'm going to start us off with quarterbacks. My number 1 quarterback this week is Aaron Rodgers against the Falcons defense. I think that he has a big game, especially with Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, and Ty Montgomery, showing that they can all be great pass catchers. My next quarterback is Tom Brady versus the Bills. Tom Brady is just kind of an obvious play. He's been tearing it up. The Bills defense is kind of slumping. They gave up 30 points to the Dolphins. My third quarterback for this week is Jameis Winston, and he is playing the Raiders. It seems like a bunch of quarterbacks this year have been able to pass against the Raiders. The Raiders defense is one of the worst in the NFL. My fourth quarterback is Russell Wilson versus the Saints. I'm not a big fan of Russell Wilson this year, considering he's not doing all that well. He's not really putting up a ton of fantasy points like you expected, because he was probably your third or fourth quarterback off the board. But going against a terrible Saints defense, I think he has a big enough week that you are a happy owner when you start him. And my fifth quarterback of the week is Andrew Luck versus the Chiefs. Andrew Luck's been putting up massive numbers, or massive fantasy point numbers, and I think he's going to continue this week against the Chiefs. So, Jonathan, you want to take running backs for us?
Yeah, sure. Number 1 running back this week we have is David Johnson. He had 41 total touches last week, and I think as 1/3 of their offense, I think he's going to continue. Number 2, we have DeMarco Murray against the Jaguars tomorrow night, and I think he is going to continue his trend. And the Jaguars just have not been too stellar at a run defense this year, so I think he's going to have another good game. Then next, number 3, we have Ezekiel Elliott. He is another running back that's on a roll, and against the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. Number 4, we have Spencer Ware. With Jamal Charles still hurt, Ware is the lead back, and he showed that he can do it with running and passing, or in catching, and I think he's going to be another solid play. Number 5, we have a surprise one a little bit. We have Devontae Booker with, I don't know, risky. But with C.J. Anderson likely to miss time for this week and possibly the next few weeks, Booker he's been playing well, was doing 50-50 time with C.J., and I think this will probably be his breakout game.
So I'll take tight ends next. Number 1 tight end, it may come as a surprise to you, but it's Rob Gronkowski playing the Bills. I mean, it's kind of obvious, just play Rob. He's a stud, clear number 1 tight end. Number 2, Jimmy Graham. He is playing the Saints this week. The Saints defense, as I mentioned earlier in this video, have been terrible. Jimmy Graham had 10 targets last game with 5 receptions. I think he comes in with a double-digit fantasy point this game. My third tight end is Vernon Davis, taking over for Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed could be out for who knows how long, and Vernon seems to be getting all of his targets, as well as Deshaun Jackson's targets lately. Number 4 tight end is Kyle Rudolph versus the Bears. He hasn't played well in the past couple of games, but he's still Sam Bradford's favorite target in the red zone, and I think that they're going to do a lot of scoring against the Bears. And then my 5th tight end is Greg Olsen versus the Cardinals. Even though he's going against a tough Cardinals defense, he still gets force-fed the ball, and I think he has a big game this week. Jonathan, wide receivers?
All right. Number 1 wide receiver for this week is Mike Evans. He's been getting an absurd amount of targets this year, and I think he's going to have another great game. Then we have Julio Jones. He's going against the Packers, and their secondary has just not been good this year and have had quite a few injuries as well, so I expect Julio to destroy the Packers. Number 3, we have A.J. Green, just another dominant receiver, and I think he's going to have another great game. Number 4, Brandon Marshall, and he is going against the Browns. You start wide receivers against the Browns. So I think he's going to have another great game. He has angry Fitzpatrick thrown to him. I think it'll be a good game. Number 5, T.Y. Hilton, and they're going against Kansas City, who just let up quite a bit of points to Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, so I expect another great game. Hilton's on a hot streak, and even with Moncrief coming back, I think Hilton can do well.
So that is our top 5 at each position for Week 8. You can follow us on Twitter at FrontlineFF, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram at Frontline Fantasy Football, go ahead and check out that website, check out his blog. You can find that link in our Twitter bio. Thanks for watching.